Hey, what's up, guys? So I wanted to make a follow-up video, being that I have some free time. A follow-up video. I know yesterday I put out a video talking about Scream 7 and how I won't be supporting it, but I just wanted to put out a follow-up video from that initial video that I made, kind of like a part 2. But I'm not talking about how I'm not going to be supporting the film. You guys already know that, where I stand on that, and I gave my thoughts on that last video. But I wanted to talk about, I basically wanted to theorize with you guys. All right. Okay, so like, I know there's a lot of people right now who have already started making videos theorizing about the story and the plot going forward without the Core 4 cast, being that they scrapped that previous storyline and got rid of those characters, which was a terrible mistake. But yeah, so we have the OG3 characters, right? The OG3 characters from Scream: Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, and Dewey Riley. Three most beloved characters, the legendary legacy characters from Scream, right? Okay, so Scream 7. I want to talk about, like, what do you guys think could possibly happen here, right? There's not many directions that the storyline could go, to be completely honest with you. I find it very hard to believe that they'll be able to write more films after this one. I truly believe that Scream 7 might actually be the last and final Scream film, and I'm gonna tell you guys why I believe that, and I'm gonna explain in detail, that way you understand where I'm coming from, alright? Because here's the thing that I'm seeing. First of all, I want to start with Neve Campbell hasn't even signed on to Scream 7 yet, alright? She hasn't even signed on to Scream 7 yet. So we don't even know if Neve Campbell's gonna return. Basically, Spyglass is banking on her to return to save the franchise, because you've already got rid of your characters that you previously established, and you didn't want to pay the face of the franchise, which she asked for last year. Clearly, Spyglass does not value their lead actors, and that is not a good sign. Alright? So, we don't even know 1000% if Neve Campbell's gonna come back. But let's just say she does come back for the story. Now you have Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell. This is not counting Dewey, because Dewey died, but let's just say they bring Dewey back, and because I really do think they're gonna bring Dewey back, Dewey Riley. Even if you have all these three characters, there's only so much you can do with these characters. They are all getting up there in age, right? Eventually, they're going to want to move on from this franchise and have a respectful, great send-off for their characters. I think Sidney deserves a happy ending. Alright? And another point that I want to make in regards to that is, Courtney Cox has even said herself during the pre-production of Scream 6 that she wanted her character to die off a while ago, and she wants her character to be killed off and to have a send-off, because she believes that she doesn't want to continuously be in a franchise and she doesn't want to basically, like, taint the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how Fast and Furious has, like, a shit ton of films. She basically said that during the pre-production of Scream 6, that she wanted her character to be killed off, and she knows that they're not going to do that, but she would like if her character was killed off and, they move forward without her. And I respect that, because you got to think here, these actors are getting older. Look at Tobey Maguire, for example, Spider-Man. I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and I actually would really enjoy if he came back again for another Spider-Man film. But there's lots of people that say, he's almost 50 years old. I think he might be 50 years old, and that he's a little too old to play Spider-Man. Some people say, he might not want to. He may want to move on with his career and not be associated with that Spider-Man name. But it's a little bit different for him, because he was just in No Way Home. So, and Tobey Maguire is always going to be associated with Spider-Man no matter what, you know. But in the end, it all comes down to what Neve Campbell does. If she wants to continue playing Sidney Prescott for the next 5-6 years, I highly doubt it. I really do believe that they're going to probably reboot Scream. They're probably going to reboot Scream, or Scream 7 is probably going to be the last film, because there's not much you can do with the story from here. You can bring back Stu Macher from the past, you could bring back Jill, you could bring back Charlie Walker, but now you face the risk of the movie being redundant, repetitive, and boring, because we've already seen the typical story with the Ghostface being after Sidney. And, you know, now they're after her kids and her husband. Alright, so how many movies are we going to continue with the same storyline? There's nothing new to bring into the story to spice it up, to give it that to give it that charge it needs. So we're basically just going to have Sidney be running away from Ghostface for another 3 films? Like, you know, you gotta think here. If the franchise is going to continue going on and they don't stop at 7, eventually you're going to have to introduce new characters, right? And the thing is, they've already shot themselves in the foot because they don't have a supporting cast that can go forward with the series, with the franchise, if Sidney's not there. So, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, don't get me wrong, I love Sidney as a character. I love Neve Campbell as an actor. I really do want her to return, but I just feel like, how many movies can you go? How many movies can you make with the same cookie cutter storyline? I mean, there's not much that you can really do here. We got Scream 1 through 4. I felt like 4 was a proper final film to end Sidney's chapter. I did want Jill to return. Jill's my favorite Ghostface. I did want Jill to return, but the way I see it here, it doesn't seem like they're going back toward that, in that direction. So I just don't know what they could possibly do with the story from here on out. I would like you guys to drop in the comments below your ideas and what you guys think should happen with the new Scream 7. Where do you think that they could take the story? Because I'm not seeing many pathways here. I'm not seeing many pathways. I'm not seeing any places that could lead the story to progress forward. All I'm really seeing here is an indefinite conclusion, and I really feel like Scream 7 is going to be the last film. You know, like I said earlier on, the actors are getting much older, and eventually you're going to have to introduce some new blood. Whether they do that, whether they don't, you know, I don't know. I really have a feeling that they're going to probably end the franchise at 7. And if they do that, they might actually end up selling the rights off, giving the rights to a different company and selling the rights for more money than what they bought the rights for. And that would probably be the best choice, because at least at that point there could be a possibility of them rehiring the previous characters from 5 and 6, and then the storyline could continue from that way forward, and it, you know, they won't have to reboot it with a completely new cast that will really leave a bad taste in people's mouths. So let me know what you guys think below. Do you guys think that Sidney could carry the Scream franchise for another 5-6 movies, or do you think that she's probably going to do 7 and she's probably not going to be involved in Scream anymore? Let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know what ways that they could continue the story and how they could make Scream 7 good without the previous characters. Alright, see you guys.